sure to check out Agelessgeeks for your figures and collectibles. These videos are meant for adult collectors and not for children. These videos will contain some explicit language, so there's your warning. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker Sith Trooper. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So as you can see, we do get a very basic style box when it comes to the SH Figuarts Star Wars line. So we do get the window right there on the front of the box, and on the window in gold does say Star Wars SH Figuarts. On the top says Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. On the bottom says Sith Trooper The Rise of Skywalker. Once again, Tamashii Nations and Bandai. And then here's the bottom of the box with the barcode and blah blah blah, so nobody cares about. Then here's the top of the box. And then one side there with the Tamashii Nations quality sticker on the bottom. The other side does have an image of the figure. Then the back of it to show a bunch of pretty cool poses you can get the figure into, along with most of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure. We're going to take a closer look at the NWO's Wolfpack version of a First Order Stormtrooper. Alrighty, so taking a closer fucking detailed look here. This figure I think turned out fantastic. If you noticed, right off the bat there, he is standing on an angle, and that is probably my main issue with the figure is the left ankle joint is not fully pegged in or something. As you can tell, this one is the proper way it should be connected, but this is not connected properly. The legs line up fine. They are even with each other. It's just the ankle joints are messed up. So mine is a little bit on an angle. So that is a little QC issue right there that I am not too happy with. But besides that, the sculpt detail and wherever there is paint, all that turned out beautiful on this figure. The head sculpt looks great. I do like the kind of updated look to the helmet here for the Stormtrooper or Sith Trooper here. I do dig the way it looks. Very cool looking. And wherever there is paint, it's put on nice and crisp, man. There isn't any paint bleeding or anything like that. Back the helmet looks fine, but I mean, it looks great. The only thing with this helmet, you get such restricted articulation with the neck and the head, and it really irritates the hell out of me. The torso here, I think, looks great too. We have like all these sculpted lines. We also have those sculpted lines on the helmet as well, but we get it throughout the torso also, which looks really nice. Very nice sculpt detail there. We do get that same like canister type thing on the back, just like the First Order Stormtroopers. Nice sculpt detail on the back as well. And then for the arms here, the shoulder pad pieces are slightly different. He has this added piece on the right one and this one as well. But I think they turned out nice. They are connected with joints onto the arms, and that is always a big plus there. We get some more of the armor around the bicep. The elbow joints do have the sculpted lines, just like on the shoulders there on the black part, which looks pretty cool. Really dig the way that looks. And then the gauntlets, I think, turned out really nice. I dig the way they look, man. And then around the belt here, just like the First Order Stormtroopers, we have these pieces. I mean, I don't even know what the hell they're supposed to be. They just look like random pieces just hanging off his belt. They don't look like pouches or anything like that, but they are all on their individual own hinges there. And then for the legs here, you can see the black parts there do have the sculpted lines on it, and then the armor on the legs look pretty good. We get more of those sculpted lines throughout it, which look nice, even on the back as well. The knee joints have the sculpted lines also. Then the lower legs look pretty cool too. Their feet, like where the toe hinges, the toe goes up, and their feet are so small they can be a bit difficult to balance properly and have them stand on their own without falling. So you're going to have to balance them out good enough so they stand on their own. Then the feet, pretty much same feet as the First Order Stormtroopers. And the bottom of them, we do get some sculpted lines that actually looks pretty cool. But overall, usually with Stormtroopers, figure companies always do a kick-ass job with them, and Tamashii Nations did with this Sith Trooper, and I really do dig the red and black look as well. But I mean, the paint and the sculpt detail just turned out great on this figure. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, this Sith Trooper is included with a bunch of really cool stuff, and he has some of the coolest looking blasters that I've seen with a Stormtrooper. But first and foremost, just like with the Rise of Skywalker Kylo Ren, we do get this exclusive Star Wars type stand that is included in this separate box here, and as you can see, it is the same type of one we did get with Kylo Ren's Star Wars. We have some symbol on there, I forgot which one that is for, and then we do have the arm and the clamp as well. So really glad that they are including that with these Star Wars figures. So we do get that, and then we do get a bunch of different blasters. So we'll start with smallest to largest, and we do get this smaller blaster here, which is still a pretty big blaster, as you can see there, but it does have some very nice sculpt and paint detail all throughout it. You can't holster any of these guns anywhere, which kind of sucks, but really nice paintwork with the red, black, and the silver there. I like the scope and everything. The barrel of the blaster looks pretty dope too. Very cool looking. And this cannot hinge out like how the original First Order Stormtroopers with their guns, you could hinge that piece out. You can't with this one though. Then we do get my favorite blaster, which is the one that's a little bit larger than the one I just showed you. And this one I think looks so damn cool, man. What a cool looking gun here. Very nice paint and sculpt detail once again. Such a dope looking blaster. And then we do get the heavy gunner gun that we got with the heavy gunner First Order Stormtrooper, and we do have the little stand here that you rest on the ground and connect this piece into, which I'll show you shortly. But this thing looks really, really cool. Very nice sculpt and paint detail once again, and just like the heavy gunner, it is the same one, but instead of this piece being white, where the red is, this one is red, and this piece can swivel up and down as well. And the way you get the stand on here, and this has some very nice paintwork as well, you just unpeg that, but you have to take this piece off. This will unpeg with it. It's really supposed to stay in there, and you're supposed to do that. Then you take this piece here, line up the peg properly, and then you just like rest it on the ground and have him grip onto it like he's shooting it and using the ground for leverage. So we do get all the awesome blasters, and then we finally get 6 alternate hands. And starting on the tippy top here, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging. Then we do get a pair of trigger finger hands, but he's not actually squeezing on the trigger. I wish they would have included a pair of those hands as well. And then we do get a pair of gripping hands, but these hands are really meant for him to grip onto the other end of the blaster. And another issue I do have with this figure is his hands, just like with the First Order Stormtroopers, are extremely difficult to swap out, and I feel like I might break a wrist peg when swapping them, but that's never happened with any of the First Order Stormtroopers, and so far not with this trooper. So you know that Tamashii Nation's plastic is definitely high quality, but it still is scary swapping these hands because of how difficult it is to swap them. But we do get some very nice paint and sculpt detail throughout all 6 hands. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with this Sith Trooper. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of this Sith Trooper, to the very top of its helmet, it looks like it's a little bit over 6 inches tall. And then here he is compared to the ESH Figuarts, the Rise of Skywalker Kylo Ren, the Executioner Trooper, the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, and the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think this Sith Trooper scales well with the SH Figuarts Star Wars line. And then here the fuck he is compared to the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Rio Duran, a Jawa IG-88, and one of the best Star Wars characters ever created, the Mandalorian. And yes, that is a custom cloth-wired cape made by my fiance, and she absolutely killed it with this cape. We do have them in stock. If you would like to have one, feel free to contact us. And then here the fuck he is compared to the Storm Collectibles Cyborg Smoke, the SH Figuarts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mephex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here the fuck he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and this Sith Trooper pretty much has the same movement as the First Order Stormtroopers, but as I mentioned before, the head and neck articulation are absolute trash on this figure, man. They should at least made the neck up a little bit higher. I wouldn't have minded that if I would have got a little more head and neck articulation with the figure, because I'm going to show you right now. And my upper neck joint is so damn tight, it's ridiculous. But with both joints here, you can get the Sith Trooper to look up that much, which really isn't much at all. And then can't even get him to look down really at all. That's how much he's going to look down. And then the pivot is pretty much non-existent because it gets restricted. It's pretty much leaning up on the shoulders right there, practically, as you can see. And then we do get swivel, but when you swivel it, his head kind of starts to look up and to the side a little bit because of these pieces on the side right there. So the head and neck articulation are just horrible on this Stormtrooper, man. Definitely not happy with that at all. Then we do get a point of articulation at the torso and at the waist, and then the torso joint does shift up a tiny bit, so you can get a little more articulation out of it. So the Sith Trooper crunches forward that much. You do see a gap there, so you might want to hide that, and it does go back about that much. You don't really see much of a gap there. And then you do get very nice pivot, actually, out of the torso, and then it does swivel, but that joint is very tight. It doesn't swivel a whole bunch. And then the waist here just goes forward and back a tiny bit. Really very minimal forward and back movements. With both joints, it goes forward that much, and both joints goes back about that much. Really minimal pivot at the waist as well. And then you do get swivel, but it gets hindered because of the way the torso and the waist is sculpted. Same thing with the torso articulation. So really not the best movement at the torso and the waist. The waist is a lot worse than the torso. The torso does have at least some pretty good pivot and decent forward and back movement. And as I mentioned, these pieces here, all four of them are on their own hinge, so they all can hinge up and down and get out of the way of the leg articulation. Now for the arms here at the shoulders, the shoulder pad pieces are on a double hinge and a ball peg as well, so you can hinge them out and move them around a little bit. So definitely like that they do that. And you do get a beautiful circular motion out of the shoulder right there, and the arms do go out to the sides a little more than 90 degrees, so that's definitely good. They do go up and down. We do have true bicep swivel there. We do have the double jointed elbows that bend in a lot more than 90 degrees. Then we do get the swivel at the gauntlets, and we do have a ball hinge on the wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth there. Now for the legs here, the Sith Trooper kicks forward a little less than 90 degrees. If you kind of swivel the leg out a little bit, you can have it go up 90 degrees, but the leg will kick out to the side a little bit, as you can see there. And they do go to the back, really not much at all. Then let's see if this Sith Trooper can Jean-Claude Van Damme it, and I don't think it can. No, it can't. Every time I try to bring this leg out, it pops off the joint there, so you might want to be careful with that. So they really only go out to the sides. Well, the left leg goes out a lot. The right leg keeps popping out on me when I bring it past this point, so another QC issue with this figure. Then we do get an alright hip swivel. We do have double jointed knees that bend back a little more than 90 degrees. Then the ankles here, whoops, where the joint connects into the actual leg, it's on like a tiny ball peg, so it can move around a little bit, but it does swivel. Hinges up really well, hinges down horrendously, man. This is something I didn't like about the First Order Stormtroopers. You can't hinge the feet down pretty much at all. Even if you shift it forward a little bit, it won't hinge down, man. So I don't know why they couldn't fix that this time around. Then we do get a pretty good ankle pivot with the figure, and then we do have a pretty good toe hinge. So overall, the articulation really isn't the best on these First Order Stormtroopers, even though this is a Sith Trooper, but it pretty much is a First Order Stormtrooper body. Some points of articulation are alright, but you have other points that are just so damn bad, man. And then I do have the QC issue with the right leg popping off the joint when I try to articulate it out to the side past 45 degrees. But you can still get them in some okay Sith Trooper like poses, and I'm about to show you some of those fucking poses right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts, The Rise of Skywalker Sith Trooper. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure with detail, I'd give it an even 9. Articulation, I'd give it a 7.5. Accessories would also get an even 9. And then the overall quality, I would have to give an even 7. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine from Agelessgeeks, so you can check out their website at agelessgeeks.com. And don't forget to use promo code Daredevil to get yourself a little bit of a discount. If you can't find something on the website, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. Let's get this figure up with it. Let's get this figure up and take a closer look at Let's get this figure up and take a closer look at the Let's get this figure up and take a closer look at the NWO's Wolfpack. And then around about what the heck? I'm about to show you some of them. I'm about Sith Trooper like poses. And I'm about but you'll still be able to get him in the... God, what the hell is wrong with me? Man, focus, you bloody bastard.